Well, hello. This is Kuba, and this is going to be the second part of my Liberty Guide. And in this part, I am going to talk about settling and how to identify settlement spots, how to combine the settlement spots together, I suppose, and how to identify problems with your settlement spots and how to fix those problems as well. All right. So let me start with the way you want to settle cities. What do you want from an expand? So I pointed out three early game things and two late game things, and well, the three early game things are the expand. You want an expand to be close to luxuries. You want it next to be you want it to be next to a hill to be able to grow to that hill, and you also want it to be next to a growth tile. So, for example, if I would settle like let's say this city on the silver. It looks great. It has so many resources. The problem is it's not next to a hill. And it is next to a growth tile. It is close to the silver, which is my regional. It's also not close to this gem though, so maybe this is not the best settlement spot to settle in. Yeah. So that's like how I would be considering settlement spots. All right, and for there are also two late game considerations, which is having a strong growth and a strong production overall. And by overall, what I mean is like when you settle a city, you take its first rank, and well, for Liberty cities, this is like the first, let's say, 6, 7 tiles that your city will border expand to, is what you consider. So, for example, in case of the Silver City, it has a lot of growth. It's excellent growth with wheat, deer, maize, another wheat, another horse, another maize, another banana will eventually buy these gems. But it does not have a good late game production. It could get cargo ship, I suppose, and then it would have production. But well, that's a way. Like cargo ship is a way of fixing a problem with a city, not what the city is. Okay, and so now that we did that for this city, um, we already identified the problem. The city does not have an early hill. It's not next to this gem. Like you'd love to buy the gem. The problem is you'd need to buy another tile for a gem, and we don't have a whole lot of money to buy tiles over here. Um, and yeah, so you want to fix the problem that the city doesn't have good late game production, and you want to fix the problem that it's not next to a hill. You can't really fix that it's not next to a hill. Maybe you could settle like another city and give it a hill here. Problem is this city is very far away, so this city is going to come down before this city. Um, and yeah, you don't want that. That is an issue. So the city is not gonna be next to a hill for a while. Mm, and yeah, and since this is an early game thing, you really don't want, like you really want to be next to a hill, as you settle it. Okay, and what are the ways to fix the problems of a city like this? Well, you can settle another city to fix the early game problems. Such as like over here, you can uh, you can caravan it or cargo ship it, which is also yeah, which is like a late game, like it's a mid game to late game thing. Sometimes in the early game, that's not particularly common in the early game, like maybe on your last city. And then there is a bunch of global ways to fix problems in your cities, such as taking a pantheon, like taking a happiness pantheon or a production pantheon or a food pantheon. Um, and also religions, taking whether you take a food belief, a production belief, a culture, I suppose, belief, which does not really apply to any of these, um, or a happiness belief, right? Mm, and also the secondary policy tree also fixes the problems of your empire. And the reason why I'm talking about that, despite the fact that it's not the time yet to consider second policy trees at all, like piety, patronage, and aesthetics, commerce, whatever, um, is because these a lot of these modifiers are global. Therefore, you want to have a lot of your cities like most of your expands are gonna have problems with them. They're not gonna be ideal. They're usually either not gonna be close to luxuries, or they're not gonna have good growth, or they're not gonna have good production. The reason why I'm talking about that is you want to like align these problems together a little bit. So like if all of your cities have mediocre growth but very good production, you're gonna take like feed the world in the religion, right? And what feed the world does, let me open that encyclopedia here. Uh, is plus on food from shrines and plus two food from temples, right? And that's gonna fix your low food problem because you're gonna get free food in every city, and that's great, right? Like, and again, like if your cities are not close to luxuries, you might pick as a pantheon, you might pick goddess of love, which let me show it. Is plus one happiness in cities with free food, or like if your cities are like not next to growth tiles, especially, or they don't have enough growth tiles early on, you might pick a culture pantheon, like I know culture and faith from silver if you're selling on a bunch of silver, etc. Right? Like that these are global ways to fix problems. So therefore, we wanna somewhat align our problems together to have a lot of our cities have the same problems, and that's what we are gonna have in mind when settling these cities. Okay, so the question is, where do I want to settle cities? Maybe I should do that when I have a settler so that EUI helps me with showcasing it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reassign these tiles to settler tiles. I'm gonna work double silver because I wasn't growing anyway, and this is gonna be max hammers, I think. Actually, this is probably right. This is 11 hammers. This is still 11 hammers. This is probably 12 hammers. No, still 11. Yeah. A lot of people would buy like a sheep or whatever here. The problem is, again, we don't have very much gold. And, oh, okay. The problem is we don't have any much gold. And, well, okay. I guess let me talk about settlement spots here. Even though I don't have a settlement. I would like to settle. So what I'm looking at is this area looks amazing. I want to settle many, even not even one city, but maybe many cities trying to use this area. So I'd like a city, and also I touched already on this in the previous part. I'd like to grab this iron from my cap to be able to make settlers. So I'd really like to settle on this tile. And this tile is great because it uses these two tiles from this city, so it can use them to grow. As well, it has a growth tile, has a production tile of the iron or a sheep. That is very good, and even a two-pop working a lake and a sheep on the flat is very strong. Um, yeah, so that's a pretty good city. So I'd like to settle here, and the citrus banana area is good. I would like to settle either on the grassland hill or on the plains hill. So that's another city. I'd like to settle on the silver, yeah, either that or well, I'd like to settle on the silver. I'd like to settle in this area. Like let's say on this flat grassland. I'd like to settle on this hill to grab this silver and maybe this rubber. Maybe I could settle on this island, but I'm already grabbing the rubber. So it's not worried about it. I'd like to settle near this wine somewhere. Probably on the wine, just because it has a growth tile, it has a hill, it's on the coast, so it can send cargo ships between all of those cities, all of those coastal cities I'm planting. I'd like to pick up this jade and the silk, and I'd like to do it with one city because this area is extremely weak. It doesn't have resources, it doesn't have any fresh water. It's just very sad to settle a city, and that's probably plot it on the hardwood. Okay, so that's the idea for the pattern, and let me look into this city a little bit deeper. Okay, so why am I settling it here? Well, I know that the border growth prioritizes strategic and luxury resources over bonus resources. So if I settle on the hardwood, I should be growing to this jade or the horse, and after that I should be growing to the bison over or after rain deer as long as I don't chop this deer, which I'm not going to for a while until I grow to this bison, and then I could buy the silk. So that way I'm gonna pick up these luxuries in free border growths, hopefully. Hopefully it chooses the bison over the maize. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be really sad because I'm not gonna grab this. So, in this city, I might, if I chop the spices, it should grow there. And this city has a problem of I'm not getting the gems. So maybe it'll be better to put this city on the wheat instead of on the gem, instead of on the silver, so that this way, well, I still have to improve the silver, but that's fine. Like I'm gonna have worker time to improve the silver because my luxuries, a lot of my luxuries are not in my borders anyway. Um, so I could settle on this wheat and buy this gem because I'm gonna probably grow into these wheat and maize before the gem and this bison, and I really need the luxury. Um, so I'll have to buy this gem, and then I can settle next to the citrus or the banana. Okay, and this is another point that I want to point, want to work I want to talk about. Also, yeah, and also this city. And I'm probably gonna grow to this rubber. If I chop it, I'll grow to it for sure. So that's no problem as well. And this is the other point that I wanted to talk about is distance. I like settling my close cities first. So I might like settle this city first, even though it's not that great. But I might settle it because it takes one, two, and two and a half. Well, and the settler moves out, takes one turn, takes two turns, and then settles on the third turn, right? So the settler walks for only two turns, and that's very, very good because you're not losing the yields from having a settler walk instead of it being a city already. And same with this white city. It's like one, two, three, right? It's pretty close. And this citrus and banana city, even though it's great, it takes one, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, and maybe 7 if I want to settle on a grassing hill to walk all the way there. And that is a long time, and that's like a lot of time wasted while having your settler walking. And I'd much rather have it just slightly bit quicker, so I think I want to go on a plains hill. And that disqualifies me from settling the silver because these two cities are too close, and therefore I should probably go on the wheat anyway, which already gets me closer to the gem, so that's probably a better city. And that's a lot of the ways that you want to be thinking about liberty settles is well you want to say okay where are the good individual spots or good individual areas to settle, but then you want to consider them all together to be able to say okay which cities can share tiles, like this city can share tiles from this beautiful, I guess, on the wheat city because this city has plenty of growth tiles, but it doesn't have good production tiles, right? And again, like which city? Oh, this city can share the deer from the cap despite being extremely, extremely weak and having a terrible first ring. But it can take the deer from the cap, so it's going to be completely okay, I guess. It's not gonna be good, but it, it's gonna do stuff for you, right? And yeah, and that's how you kind of want to consider settlement spots. All right. I've been talking for 13 minutes. That is incredible. All right, let's play a couple more turns, I guess. All right, I'm just gonna grab this rune, and I'm gonna find out what's in the water. And we also have a worker from Luxembourg. And before, actually, no, I'm not gonna steal that worker. I was gonna say before stealing that worker, I want to find out what if where their luxury is. It's T, and find out whether I can steal from that city state law. And also, I'm not pledging these city states. I should do that. Yeah, but I am going to take this worker from Islamabad the way because later I'll be able to park my warrior on this bison tile or on this plains tile and be able to take the worker from actually on this plains tile and be able to take the worker as it steps on either the hill or a forest trying to go to the coffee. Because city states will always prioritize improving luxuries first as long as they have the tech, and they will have the tech. Oh, this worker already improved the farm, I suppose. Um, but that way you get to steal multiple workers from the same city state while not incurring any penalties on any of the other city states. Speaking of, we have free cultural one food which I'm stealing from. It's unfortunate that I'm seeing from a food city state. And one happiness, that is also going to be a way to fix our problems, which most of our problems was not having luxuries nearby. So if we can ally an early city state, we can get an extra 4 happiness from doing that. And hopefully that'll help us with our happiness situation. It's not going to be great. And I'll also chop, and my tiles are early for settlers, that's good. And since I'm not stealing from Luxembourg, I'm gonna peek on this tile. Alright, that's a maze, that's pretty good. Um, I still think I want to settle here, because I still think I want these 2 tiles for settler building from my cap, and I want to go there first. Alright, and with this scout, I would like to go scouting, I think. I think this scout can cover escorting most of my settlers. Actually, this scout needs to keep taking care of this bird camp as well. If I settle a city here first, I can't settle this city first, though. I need to settle this city first for production for my cap. Oh well. Oh, 14 culture. That is incredible, actually. That is so good. That's gonna speed up our settler policy even 3 turns faster. We're gonna get a settler policy on turn 22. That is that is like Finland, France level settler policy. That is really, really fast. It's gonna set us up for a really, really strong game. Yeah, we got calendar. All right, so we identified that we want cargo ships. Do we need any other luxuries? I don't think so, and we don't want cargo ships yet. So having said that, oh, and we need bronze working for the citrus, but that can probably wait. But having said that, I'll probably click trapping first, just so that I can improve these deer tiles. And what I'll do is I'll make a worker after this settler. And also look at this perfect settler coming out on perfect canvas. I'll keep this scout around until I clear this barb camp to help escorting. Actually, I could clear this barb camp with a warrior already. Maybe I should do that. I'd love to settle this city early, but it's just so incredibly weak. And I would like for my cap borders to expand to the tobacco before this city gets to expand. I would hope that my cap borders will expand to the tobacco after this wheat. Uh, just because it's a 5-1 luxury, so it should prioritize it over the maze or the sheep. I think city borders don't really like sheep because it's only a bonus resource on our terrain. Alright, let's keep on monitoring this program with this scout. Mm, and yeah, maybe settling the city is better. Oh yeah, I'm going to get the barbs from that barb camp now. Alright, I would like for my iron not to get pillaged, so if the barb goes and slams me in the plains, I'm fine, I can fortify and shoot it with a city, and if it slams me through the grassland, I can walk onto this iron. Hopefully it doesn't go for my worker, because I really do need to improve these silver tiles. Alright, I'll fortify here, and I'll walk my other worker back home, and I'll try to escort myself over here. Just because I'm not sure that there isn't a barb archer that just wandered around from this barb camp and is chilling somewhere over here. Because barb archers are very annoying and they like to, well, sit there and just like kind of do nothing. Alright, that's perfect. We can now fortify the scout and get slammed like twice. And not be worried about that. And there is a barb archer that spawned, but it's not gonna bother us because we're gonna just get out of its way and hope it like wanders around down to Luxembourg. Let the city state deal with our problems. Alright, and we are going to build a worker. Um, just because we don't have a settler policy yet, we need another worker. We only have 3 right now, and we are gonna have luxury problems. So we want to improve the luxuries that we have as soon as possible. Oh, and my borders might expand to the maze. So maybe I want to bring this worker actually down to the rubber and chop it. Not really, because I'm not gonna have a tile to improve here. I could improve the iron, I suppose. I could like bring this worker down, chop the worker in here, and then improve this iron and the sill for the capital settlers. That actually sounds pretty good. Okay, so that is what I might do with this worker. Although there is a barb archer that might. Yeah. This barb did not slam me. I am very sad by that. Alright, I guess I'll improve this, the other silver, and I'll try to trade with the Huns. And the reason why I'm playing with IG is because the AI sometimes doesn't improve their luxuries, and I want to force them to be able to improve their luxuries by, well, just IG improving them, so that I can trade them with the AI. Yeah, the barb might step on my iron. That's gonna be annoying because my city is probably gonna switch to silver because it's dumb. Uh, but nothing I can do about that. Alright, this barb did not go on the iron, and this barb archer don't shoot me. Alright, that is perfect. Exactly what I want. And the mine is done next turn. The worker is done next turn, and we can go back to working on settlers. And this honey scout is getting shot for me. That is so good. Alright, we finished trapping. And also, your second settler does not increase the cost of this policy. It generally increases the cost of policies, but the way rounding works in this game, it makes it so that this 40 culture cost does not get rounded. That's that culture cost does not get increased. If you were playing like Poland, for example, your second settler would increase your culture policy cost, so you have to be worried about that. But this one is not going to, so we can freely settle it, and our policy still costs 40. We're making one more culture per turn. Unfortunately, we're gonna miss that policy by one culture. Uh, if I walked over here, I would actually like have my Liberty Settler this turn instead. Yeah, because I'd be able to plant this city one turn faster. Oh well, mistakes were made. It's just a small mistake. Alright, I am going to work, oh, right, I can work the iron from Zagjab, because the city can grow. We're at one happiness, so we don't want to grow too many of our cities. We can grow one city, in fact. And this city is not going to be growing to the rubber unless I chop it. They do really want to go there and chop it. It's just I don't have a worker to do that, which is unfortunate. So I guess I'm probably not going to end up doing this. I'll just build my own worker in the city. You wanna build workers in your Liberty cities in general. It's just very good. Why am I not working this time? Oh, because I wanted to work the iron, right? And do I want to work the? I might want to work the hill. It's more hammers. It's gonna be far more hammers if I work it more. All right, let's get bronze working for the citrus, and then sailing for the cargo ships maybe. But again, like I'm not planting these cargo ships yet. I got shot now. Alright, let's run with the scout, and hopefully this barb archer doesn't walk into my land and walks into Luxembourg instead still. I'd like to be able to chop this marsh, but it doesn't really bother me. Doesn't really bother my settler movement and my worker movement either, so I can just leave it there for now and not tech masonry for a while. Alright, this barb archer decided to do bother me. Um, Alright, I guess I'll put the scout there then, and just let the scout get shot. I'm also getting my settler policy, and that settler is already gonna spawn on the iron and it's gonna walk to the spices. And I am improving the silver, so I do need to also go ahead and meet people. Alright, well, this guy should have freaking met me. So I am going to meet Genghis Khan. Because it's like impossible that this guy didn't meet me. And I am going to switch to the Huns, and I am going to say you have your thing improved. Where is it? I'm not very good with not like I'm not very fast with this. Okay, now you have your copper improved, so I can trade with you. And also, I guess I will also switch to Mongolia. And this is another issue, right? Like this Mongolia player is very close to this city, so you might want to be a little bit more conservative with settling that city. Uh, right. I will switch to Mongolia, and I will say uh, that this is your land now, and you're gonna have a camp there, and that way you have your ivory improved, and I can trade it for my silver. You wanna like trade your luxuries as soon as you can, in both multiplayer and single player. Just because the luxuries might not be available later. Um, I guess why am I talking about single player? This is a multiplayer guide. Whatever. Don't worry about my rambling. Okay. I'd like to improve this iron, then chop these spices so that these borders can grow to these spices. Okay, this is quite unfortunate. I'd like to get this worker out ASAP. It's 4 turns. If I chop this tile, it's going to be... Oh, it's going to go to Belgrade, right? I forgot about that. I'll fortify this scout, and I'll bring my other scout up there too, to be able to maybe deter this archer, or like stun this archer, do something about this archer, so that's not gonna be able to attack me. Alright, I'm gonna build a worker here. I am going to work the hill because we currently really do not have happiness to grow. I would like to go improve this tier, but maybe I'll start chopping here instead. So that when the settler arrives, it starts with a chop. I don't really have a whole lot to do with my units. Yeah, this citrus city is probably not ours, so I'm just not going to settle it. Alright, I am going to queue up like a bunch more settlers. These are 2-turn settlers, this is incredible. It is an incredibly strong capital. Alright, let's click on sailing now, so that maybe we can make a cargo ship. I'd love, I'd have loved to make a granary in this city. It's probably not cargo ship time yet. Like, I'm not. I don't really want any other text. I suppose masonry maybe, for clicking pyramids in a random city. But yeah, that is about it. Alright, I've been going on for 27 minutes about this, and I'm just playing it through. So I'll probably see you guys in the next part, and thanks for watching. Bye.